Well, it's another day on the farm, and today the wife wants me to go up into the woods and knock down some of the older trees that we no longer need so that she can use them for her, I guess, natural fence that she wants to build for her new garden. So it's Saturday, had a little bit of coffee put into me. I'm dressed like a pauper so that if I get muddy and dirty, well, who cares? But one thing I wanted to note is, you know, as much as we need the rain, as much as we love the rain, you know, enough is enough. We've gotten more rain since September of last year. I thought I read somewhere it's like a 70-year all-time high. So, you know, it's great. We need it. The field needs it. Grass needs it. But, geez, I wish it would stop. I've got boxes of crap that I need to get out of here and burn and whatnot. And of course, you can't have bonfires because it's constantly raining. So, going to break down some boxes, get everything prepped to head up towards the back 40, and we'll take you along. I'll probably edit some of this stuff out. So, you know, have fun watching me do stupid crap. I come from the old school that says you don't feed horses grain, and just let them eat hay and what's on the ground and, you know, grass and whatnot. But if you're going to feed them grain, for our two boys, they're the best stuff on the market. Dee goes through hell trying to find places that carry it, but she's done pretty good. So, Sentinel, why don't you buzz her and she'll tell you where to find it. So much rain that you can't get anything done around here. I mean, I'll tell you how bad it is. I had to use, you see all that cardboard. One of the great things about ordering from Chewy is everything you need is shipped to the door. You know, the grain, the extra alfalfa, the dog food, blah, blah, blah. So you get all these boxes and you open them up and great. Well, you collect them and then, you know, they're great, make great bonfire starters. You roll them up and get them started and whatnot. Problem is, with all the rain, we haven't been able to burn all of them, so they're just collecting. But I'll tell you a funny story. Kind of glad we did it because the other day I had to use the mower to get out into the front yard to spread grass seed. And I mean, I could have done it with the ATV, but while I was using the ATV to do the back field, Dee took the mower and seeded the front yard. That's great. But to get it through the gate, it had rained so much that it just turned into an absolute muddy muck mess that to get it through the gate and make the turn to go through the other gate, if you did it without protection, you would have just gotten the mower stuck and it would have just tore everything to hell. So I used a bunch of Chewy boxes, like 15, that we had saved, and was able to make a ramp out of it, and with Dee's help was able to get the mower out. Of course, that's great and that's wonderful, but now I can't get the mower back into the shed for the same reason, and I'm out of the boxes. So currently my workshop is filled to the brim with crap, as you can see. So figured you'd get a chuckle out of that. Use your boxes. So I'll take you on a little ground tour here. One of the projects I'm currently working on is a heating and air, an HVAC circuit out to the outdoor shed slash what will soon be my office. So as you can tell, I pulled the breaker panel apart. I've dropped in a 20 amp circuit, ran, you can see my piping. So got the fish tape ran for it, got my piping all squared up. Excuse the mess, still trying to figure out where to put all that crap. Down the wall into my little junction boxes. Not finished yet, so it kind of looks like crap. But when I'm finished, we'll have a separate circuit out into the shed, 20 amps for heating and air. I've got 4 circuits out there already for electrical, 1 circuit out there for lights. So it'll be pretty much self-sufficient, and then all I'll need to do is insulate it, put some sheetrock up, and start using it. So here's my lovely mess. Really got to get this stuff cleaned out and get this shop squared away. I just can't ever do anything because it's freaking raining all the time. So, another dreary, rainy day. Okay, well, let's get the ATV squared up and get moving. Speaking of previous made videos, wanted to let you know that my little starter bypass relay is still working like a dream. Talked about this thing needing a new starter, and as you can see, it still works like a dream. Got to go check the mail before I can go do the errands. So let's go for a quick ride to the mailbox. Say hello, crazy chicken lady.
Hi.
I already got it. Just enough rain to piss you off. Okay, the week's bills have been pulled out of the mailbox. Let's head on up to the back 40. Alright, it's gonna be kind of bumpy. Fields have turned to mud, muck. It's just nasty. On the plus side though, some of the rye that I put down the other day is starting to come up. So there is that. So, again, apologize for the view and the shakiness. What do you expect from a cell phone? Alright, here we go. Entrance to the playground. Try to keep it as steady as I can for y'all. Hard to believe that over a year ago, this was just an itty bitty single foot trail path. Done a lot of work out here. Here. That's where I've been putting all the old hay. This is the playground. Still got a lot of work to do to it, but it's a nice training area. Alright, gonna pause it here for just a minute so I can get the gate open. Had someone ask me not long ago why I left that little holly tree right there next to the fence. Well, because it makes one hell of an electric fence holder so that I can get through. What is it? Necessity is the mother of all invention, right? All right. Well, with all the rain, a couple days ago that was flooded all the way up over the crest. Not so bad today. And that's where we're going to head for just a few moments. Head over here to the gun range. Just a minute. And I'll give you a tour real fast. Okay, so don't laugh. Impromptu table made out of 2 water barrels and a piece of plywood that I had sitting left over in the shed. Nothing fancy at all, but it works for the moment. You notice my little stakes sticking out of the ground. Each marker is 5 yards. If you look real closely down yonder, you'll see my guns. And then you see that fluorescent green? That's a test piece of steel that Darby was nice enough to let me borrow. That's the one in the garage that I said earlier in the other video I gotta finish cutting. So my little 25-yard gun range. If you look closely, you see that little piece of PVC. That's for those folks that want to use paper, not steel. So there's that. And you see all the flooding, what it did. I got brass everywhere. I need to clean up all this brass. But the gun range. All right, next stop, the upper pastures. Okay, so I lied. I can't go by the gun range and not actually squeeze off a round or 3. Man, is it cold. It's 35 out here right now. So, Smith & Wesson 9mm shield. And I evidently suck today. And that's that. I evidently need to practice some more, because I seem to suck. Oh well. Time to paint. Okay, now that we've established I suck, I guess we go up to the woods. This is one of the fields in the upper pasture that I'm currently working on. As you can see, Danielle has turned it into an obstacle course for the horses, for the boys. She's got some sort of competition that she's going to in the next week or 2. It might be 3 weeks from now. I don't know. But basically, she has to take the boys through an obstacle course, and they have to behave. So as you can see, she's made obstacles that flutter in the wind. That's an old American flag that used to hang off the back of my truck. Before we decommissioned it, we figured we'd get a couple more uses out of it. She's got some strings, she's got some tarps, just things that makes the boys uncomfortable. Same with our old police flag. So she walks them through here, kind of obstacle course. Got to get my hands on a stump grinder and get rid of some of these stumps. But for the moment, they still work as obstacle courses. And then you see the noodles. So as the wind blows all this stuff around, makes the horses uncomfortable, makes them have to trust her, makes all kinds of funny noises, because you know horses are scared of everything. So kind of cool. Still working on it. So this is one of them. I'll be keeping trees that size. That size probably going to go. So anything bigger than my leg is probably going to stay. Everything smaller is going to go. So this is one field. Let's mosey on over here to the second field. And as you can see, Been kind of cleaning this out a little bit as time permits. That is an old deer stand that the previous owner used to use, and like everything he built, it has fallen apart. So gotta burn it next time I do a bonfire up here. So you see we kind of cleared this out a little bit. Here's his old hunting lodge that fell apart last summer. One of my burn pits. You can see I've kind of gone through there and cleaned that area up quite a bit. Kind of stopped right there. Didn't really have too much of a choice. Stupid rain. It's been a good 3 weeks since I've been up here. So nice to see that there isn't too much debris. So I got to go all the way down through here and clean all this crap up. I keep telling Dee, can't knock down any more trees until we get a path cleared through here so I can get the ATV in and pull stuff out. Oh, hang on, I might drop you. That's twice I've almost dropped my phone. So if you look real carefully in the woods, you'll see that tree with the yellow caution tape on it. That's today's tree, or trees. They're going to have to come out for Dee's fence project. So, got another burn pit I got to work on. So, okay, well, let's set up the tripod and I guess we start knocking out some trees. See ya. Okay, so fast forward about 30 minutes and you'll see that I've cleaned out by hand a little bit of trail right through there. That's just so I can get the ATV in there. I'm going to cut down this tree and then make it 10-foot increments for Danielle's fence. And I didn't want to have to carry it further than I absolutely had to. I mean, what's the point of using an ATV if you don't use it, right? So, cleared it out, got just a little bit more to go, and then we'll start cutting. We should be at a point now where I can get the ATV through here if I need to. Let's move you guys, and I reckon we'll start knocking down a tree. All right, so we're ready to go. Before I start, do a little diatribe on what I'm using. First of all, these are my long distance glasses. They're safety rated for, you know, shooting and whatnot. They're not something I would recommend you use, but they work for me. Little 2-stroke Husqvarna 240. It's a small little chainsaw. Mother-in-law got it for me to help me because I was doing this all by hand with a handsaw. Danielle sells a wonderful part in her eBay store for all gas engines, whether it be 2-stroke or 4-stroke. You know, gas goes bad after about 30 days after it's been refined. Now that's not counting the days that it sits in the tank at the gas station. I mean, 30 days from the moment it's refined and it starts to go bad and loses octane. So if you're using motorcycles, ATVs, chainsaws, small equipment, you want to go with premium unleaded gas at all times. You don't need to get the non-ethanol kind. You can use the ethanol kind. Just make sure it's premium. And then, like I said, she sells this part. It's kind of like a water filter type thing. You put it on top of your tank as you fill up your tank, and it gets rid of water and debris and things like this that do not have a fuel filter. It captures all that material for you. It makes your gas a little bit better, stronger, and then to make it last a little longer, everybody uses what is that fuel additive? Sta-Bil. They use Sta-Bil, and that's a great additive. But I've found a bottle of something called a mechanic in a bottle, and Tractor Supply sells it. Comes in like a 3 to 4 ounce bottle. You add 1 ounce to every gallon in your master tank. I carry like 3 5-gallon jerry cans, and I keep them with me on the ATV or I keep them in the garage. And before I fill them up, I use that filter that Danielle bought me, and then I use a mechanic in a bottle, and it seems to make the gas last a little bit longer. So instead of 30 days, I might be able to get 45 days out of it. Keeps the octane good enough so that engines like this don't bog down, because you know ethanol will eat your hoses, it'll eat all your carburetor parts. This chainsaw is a year old, it hasn't had anything done to it other than chain replacement maintenance, and it still runs like a dream. Same with my ATV, same with all my motorcycles and whatnot. Try it. It's called Mechanic in a Bottle. You can get it at Tractor Supply. I'm sure you can get it at other places. Cost about $4 to $5 a bottle. Really good stuff. Makes your gas last a little bit longer. But again, most importantly, make sure you always use 93 octane. So with this puppy, we only got to prime it 6 times. And then start, make sure your brake's on at all times. Okay. And then once that's done, put the choke in. Voila! Now, like I said, I am no lumberjack by any shape, form, or fashion. But if you notch it in the general direction of where you want it to go, then you come in at a higher point, and if you've done it right, it should fall pretty close to where you want it to go. Now, I've done this enough times that it's a crapshoot. I've seen some really great YouTube videos where guys are able to make it fall within an inch of where they wanted it to go, and then I've seen some guys make it fall on their house. So, who knows? Cross your fingers, maybe this will work properly. Nope, it's going to go the other way. See, and that's why I disclaimed that I am not a lumberjack. Alright, I'm going to cut you out while I finish making this thing fall. Alright, there you go. One tree down. Danielle wants it cut at 10-foot increments, so we'll start doing 10-foot increments. So, not where I wanted it to fall. I wanted it to go that way. Instead it went that way. So, I'm an idiot. Alright, let's get the tape measure and start doing the deed. Okay, first tree toppled, cut at 10-foot increments. Now I get the joy of carrying this crap. Think I might spare you from that detail. Who knows? And see, here's another reason why I'm an idiot. I dropped this thing in the wrong direction. I made myself a little path so I could get in here with the ATV. And I didn't clear that out. So, I get to manually hump this stuff by hand. Yay me. Well, at least the smartest thing I'm going to do today is start with the light one, the light edge, and work my way up. Of course, as I get closer to the base, these are going to get heavier and heavier. This one's about 65 pounds, and man, it is uncomfortable.